Alright guys, you saw the title from this video. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing one of the worst chess games I've ever found. And yeah, the players missed mate in 115 times. I'm not joking, the title is not clickbait. Before I begin guys, if you're interested, please drop a like and sub, as that would really help the channel a ton. If you're really interested, you can also drop super thanks. And if it's difficult to hear my voice, just turn on captions. Without further ado, let's just begin. So white starts off the game with knight f3. Which is already a pretty weird start, but I can't really say this is a bad move because, well, it develops a knight. Well, really, like, all the starting moves you can make are actually pretty good. But okay. But then we have the move pawn a5. And now white is just automatically winning on move 1. What? Why? Like, what's the point of this move? Okay. So white decides to develop their other knight with knight c3. I mean, in this situation, I would have just gone for the center immediately. But I mean, I can't really say this is a bad move because, well, it develops a piece. So how can I say this is really a bad move? It doesn't really lose anything. But then we have the response, pawn c5. And now white is just winning by 1 point. Okay. And now, guys, white responds with pawn a4. Okay, now I don't even know if the players know what they're doing. Because now they've all just pushed random pawns. Like, okay, fine. To be fair, white did push their a-pawn probably because black pushed their a-pawn, so maybe they thought that maybe there's some threat, even though there isn't any threat. But honestly, I don't know why black could just push their a and c pawns for no real reason. Well, okay, we'll ignore it. But now, guys, we have a move that if I gave you 10 chances to guess it, you would not guess it correct. Black plays c4. And now the game is just losing by nearly 3 points. What? Okay. The best move in this position is just pawn e4, because it puts a pawn in the center, and it reveals an attack on this pawn. If you try to defend this pawn with something like pawn to d5, you're just automatically losing instantly. Like, this pawn is going to 100% get captured, this pawn is defended by this knight, and it's actually probably just better just capture with the knight. Yeah, it's better, and this pawn is just not savable at all. But that doesn't happen. And seriously, once again, if I gave you 10 chances to guess what white plays, you will not guess it. h4. And now the game is only winning by 1 point for white. And now I'm seriously confused. Okay. And now, black plays pawn to b5. And once again, the game is totally losing. At this point, I seriously don't even know what's happening, but okay, we'll ignore it. So now we have pawn captures. White actually plays like the best move in this position, I think, or maybe, is it knight captures? No, it's not knight captures, yeah, it's pawn captures. And then we have the move pawn a4. What? This is just a free pawn. But that doesn't happen. And instead we have knight e4. What? The knight was launching a double attack with the rook on this pawn since there was only one defender. The knight went over here, and now this pawn doesn't have like any real attack on it. Okay, we'll ignore that. And then we have pawn e3. Okay. So white just captures, and to be honest, this isn't really a bad move at all. But now we have the move pawn c3. What? Okay, white just captures the knight immediately. And now for some reason, okay, if I actually just once again gave you multiple guesses, you will not guess the move. Rook captures. I don't even know what's happening anymore, okay. By the way, white spent 6 seconds to capture the rook. Okay. So, we just have pawn push. Okay. And now the rook just moves back. I can't really blame this move. Now, probably in this position, maybe I play something like this to try to attack the knight while also the pawn is defended by the queen. Although honestly, in this position, I'd probably just resign, but okay. But instead, white plays after rook a1. Well, no, black plays knight a6. Now I genuinely don't know what's happening. So they've already blundered the rook, and now they're blundering the knight. And white doesn't even capture. They literally just played knight d4. Okay. Now I have knight b4. And now we have rook b1. Now I really don't know what's happening. And now we have, no joke, knight captures on c2. I guess black just assumed that white doesn't know how to capture because they didn't capture with the pawn. But no, white actually captured the queen. But now, finally, black makes a move that actually makes sense, which is pawn to e5. Finally, a move that actually makes sense, but okay. And instead of white actually responding to the threat, they just play rook a1. Okay. Pawn captures knight. And now the knight moves to a4. Then we have pawn d3, which is just a blunder of a pawn, but okay, we don't talk about that. But instead we have knight c3. Now the pawn captures. And now, white for some reason just plays the move knight b6. What? This blunders the knight and the bishop. I'm sorry, but what is this? Okay. And black doesn't even make a queen, they just make a rook. I mean, it doesn't really matter because 100% get captured anyways. Unless white plays king e2, but let's be honest, there's no way that would actually happen. So we have rook captures. And instead of black just capturing this knight for free, well, no, it's not actually for free because, well, yeah, this bishop would also be under attack. Although, to be fair, considering these players are 100 elo, probably white doesn't even know that they can capture this bishop if black captures the knight. We have pawn d4. And now you can just capture this bishop. But that doesn't happen. Instead, we have queen c4. Okay. And now we have pawn f5. You can just capture. But instead, we have rook a8. I guess the idea is to try to, like, win the queen, which isn't a bad idea. And actually, yeah, this might actually be the best move, I think. Oh, wow, it is the best move. Wow. Okay, yeah, I did not see that. The next move we have is just pawn to d3, which is just completely ignoring this threat by all of these pieces. And the only defender is this queen. And there's no way this queen is going to stop all these pieces, but okay. So the rook captures. And black just pushes a pawn, and now it's literally just mate in 3. You can find it if you want. Then we have rook captures the check, and king recaptures, and then white captures a pawn. The king moves, and there's mate in 9. Okay, and then we have queen f3, just blundering the knight. And yes, black actually does capture. Queen captures, and black just captures a pawn. You can just win the bishop right now, but that doesn't happen. Instead, we have check. Bishop moves. You can play a move like this. It wins the bishop. Then instead, the queen just gives another check. The king moves. And now, black actually has to respond to white giving the check by bishop on a3. The king moves, and yeah, this just blunders the bishop, okay. But instead, we have the move king e2. Now I genuinely don't know what's even happening. But instead, we have bishop e3. They don't even try to move the bishop out of danger. They're literally just giving it away. And now it's literally just mate in 2. What's even happening? Okay. So we have pawn captures. We have knight h6. And then we have the move rook b1, which is obviously like preparing a checkmate, as we can see. And it's just totally unstoppable. I mean, the only move is like this. And then you just capture the rook, and yeah, they're still totally 100% lost because now you can actually just still play it very much. Let me just show you. Yeah, pretty much. But instead we have the move knight g4, which is blunders mate in 1, like queen b5 is just mate in 1. But if that was played, we probably wouldn't even have a video. But instead we have the move rook b7. I have no idea what this achieves. And now the knight just captures. And now we have queen c3 check. Okay, then we have king a4. And once again, queen b4, it's mate in 1. Like, also like queen b5. But obviously that's not going to be found. Instead, we have the move rook a7 check. The king moves. And instead of capturing, at the very least, we have pawn g3. What does this even achieve? I have absolutely no idea. And now we have the move rook a8. Just giving away the rook. Like, I don't even know what's happening. Like, also, this is just checkmate. Okay. The king finally captures, although you should have 100% just captured the rook, or just given the checkmate at the very least. But okay. And instead of capturing, black doesn't even capture. Rook g8. Once again, mate in 1. This is actually the worst game I've ever seen. Okay, fine. In the title, I'm not going to say this is one of the worst games. This is actually the worst game I've ever found. Okay, what the heck even is this? Okay. And then we have the move pawn e4. And we have rook h8. Once again, mate in 1 for the 1,000,000th time. It's there, but it's never going to be found in a million years. And then we have rook captures on g7, an okay move. And then we have rook c8. By this point, black has just totally given up. Then we have rook g5 check. And for some reason, rook blocks. You can just capture the queen, but instead of that, we have just queen f6. And now, black gives a check, just blundering the rook one move. Okay. White captures and gives a check. The king goes to c4. Then the queen gives a check. The king goes to d3. Then we have rook f3 check. King goes to d2. Mate in 1 for the 1,000,000th time, but that will never be found in a million years as usual. And then we have pawn e5. What? Okay, now we have pawn h5. And now it looks like black is just going for a stalemate or something. But then we have pawn g4. Black captures. Then we have rook f4. Then we have g3 check. King captures. King goes to d1. Then we have pawn h5. And now I don't even know what's happening. King d2. And then we have pawn e6. Now we have king e1. And now we have pawn h6. And now black just keeps moving their king and white just slowly promotes. Yeah, they promote with check. The king goes to d3. And now they promote again. The king has to go to d2. It's literally forced. Then we have queen d8 check. King e2. Queen c2 check. King e3. And then we have the brilliant move queen h6, which causes the game to end in a stalemate. This really does deserve the title of the worst chess game in history, honestly. Anyways, okay, what did we just watch? Opening that made absolutely no sense. Just a bunch of blunders here and there. And eventually, I guess the players just forgot that pieces can capture other pieces or something, and for some reason, black just promoted to a rook, and white just allowed it to happen, okay. And then we have just even more attacks continuously. And then just mate in 1 being blundered like a million times. But obviously that was never going to be found. And then black just blundered their rook immediately. And then white tried to checkmate. But that was never found. And then eventually white just promoted to 2 queens. And then they proceeded to stalemate with queen to h6. Worst chess game I've ever seen. Like, really, this does deserve the worst chess game I've ever seen, and probably the worst chess game of all time. Actually. Yeah, I'm going to put in the title, this is the worst chess game in chess history. But okay. Comment down below if you agree with me. And yeah, guys, this is the whole video. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and sub, as that would really help the channel a ton. If you really enjoyed this video, you can also drop super thanks. Comment down below if you actually believe there's a chess game worse than this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I guess maybe something like a quick checkmate in like 3 or 4 moves could count. But I mean, like, this game wasn't a quick checkmate. This was like an actual real game that lasted more than 50 moves and ended in stalemate somehow. I have absolutely no idea, but okay. Yeah, comment down below if you actually think there was a worse game than this that isn't just a quick checkmate. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.